In light of this pandemic, face masks and hand sanitizers are selling out quickly. Newtown Junction and House of Hohwa have put together a social media campaign around safety measures to follow during the lockdown. They've created stylish, comfortable masks made for everyone while still practicing aggressive hygiene. With the theme, Your Mask, Your Fashion Statement, Your Safety, we now chat to Kuda Matiza, the founder and director of House of Hohwa via Skype. Kuda, very good morning. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Morning, how are you?
Great, how are you, man? First of all, talk to us about these face masks that you created to make a fashion statement while still practicing good hygiene.
So yeah, basically we collaborated with a brand called Squares of House Media and Newtown Junction. So the idea was basically to create awareness, over this crisis that we actually have. But most importantly, the ideology about it was to make people, understand that wearing your mask doesn't have to be uncomfortable. It can also be stylish and, whilst you practice hygiene.
All right, and had you always had masks as part of your merchandise, or is it something that you saw a demand in and perhaps started with a supply?
I think it most importantly, had to do with the demand itself. I mean, our brand has always been making very different things. We've always been, innovative in making things that are very, different in terms of urban culture. But most importantly, I think the idea just came at a very good time when we all were going through, what we're going through at the moment. So I think this has just been something that we've also added as part of our merchandise as well.
Yeah, and to take us through the design, Kuda, I mean, each has a specific African print to it. Then talk to us about the fabric you used.
So we're basically an urban ethnic brand. So what urban ethnic for us is more like what trends in an urban environment, but at the same time observing your culture, your history, and everything else. So, and we also love color. That's just what our brand is about. But most importantly, we mix a different cultures. As you can see, some of the masks are made of shwe Sutu fabric, and then we also have some Ankara as well. So we wanted to sort of like mix everyone's culture and sort of like get everyone into the whole practice hygiene and stay safe, but at the same time wear your culture and represent yourself. But that's what our brand mainly represents. So I think this actually worked perfectly.
And just how safe are these masks? Do you also provide does it also provide with the same protection as medical masks would?
So unfortunately, they're not obviously medical masks. They're not obviously sanitized. But I think because there's a shortage of masks, we decided, look, this would be perfect to actually wear. The good thing about a cloth mask is that you can be able to wash it, so it's rewashable, and then you can actually use it. But most importantly, if the mask is actually used carefully, it actually does work to protect you against obviously anything that could actually affect you in terms of the coronavirus. So the masks themselves are more of like a precautionary measure, and what we realize is that most people are actually practicing the whole cycle of protecting themselves, because once you actually wear the mask itself, you're actually going to wash your hands, and then you're able to actually think of practicing social distancing and everything else. So it's a precautionary measure at the same time. I think it works for the time being.
And how often should they be washed?
Well, it's definitely after you actually wear it, and you should actually wash it after you actually wear it, and you can be able to reuse it, the next day or so. But then you need to actually regularly wash them so that you don't actually contract anything, because they are they're actually cloth masks. So at the end of the day, they need to be washed on a regular basis. But I encourage people to actually wash them as soon as they use them.
Okay, and where are they available?
So you can contact us on our social medias. It's at House of Hohwa on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Then you can be able to actually, if you want to actually inquire more about it, you can go on houseofhohwa@gmail.com. We were having a bit of some troubles getting the masks to people, obviously, because of the lockdown, but we've actually sorted that out. So everyone is free to order the masks, and you should be getting them delivered to you wherever you are in the country.
All right, Kuda, all the best, man. Thank you so much for chatting to us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, all right. The mask comes in striking designs and is made with first-class quality textile. It's made with a double layer of fabric, which in return makes the mask much stronger to wear and tear. We just spoke to the founder of House of Hohwa, Kuda Matiza, via Skype.